This week on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways, we're going to Chechnya on our front porch.
And we're going to be doing a pastry with poppy seed filling. So we'll be right back.
This is Wade, and I'm Angel, and this is Iris, and we are Pole House Black Pots Weekend Getaways, where we show you all things yummy to cook in cast iron as we visit different places.
Welcome to another week on the front porch for Pole House Black Pots.
This is week three
yeah.
of the sweets from around the world for Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're doing, as you remember, we went to Iowa a couple months ago, and Iris
to the Czech village.
Yes, and they have. We didn't actually try them, but they have these pastries that have poppy seed in them. A lot of poppy seed.
Yeah, that's kind of the main. They got different varieties. We're going to do one with some with.
We're putting down here, Angel, right down here, what they are. We'll pronounce them. We're probably going to butcher.
Kolache or Kolache or Kolache. I think it's Kolache or something. There's different.
Well, the thing is, it's like clonies or something like that is how it's spelled. So, but anyways, we're going to fix this Chechnyan pastry, and once we get around, this is a several process thing.
Yeah.
It's
and
not
we never made it, so hopefully they turn out.
Made it. And the other thing that's interesting is it's not a cookie, so it's a yeast bread.
Yeah, basically it starts with that's a regular standard yeast bread, doesn't it?
It's a yeast bread that's got some fall spices in it. So we're going to get around, we're going to make the pastry part, and then let it has to raise, till it's double. And while it's raising, we're going to make a filling. We're not going to fill them all with it.
We're going to do two different
kinds of filling. The one, we're going to do the poppy seed filling, and then we'll come back and put them together and bake a batch or two. So we're going to get around, and we'll be right back.
Okay, see you in a minute.
Okay. Wait, I want you to come in here and look at this. I have already warmed up my milk, and I put my yeast in there. And if you can see it, it's already starting to work.
Little bubbles. It's proofing, right?
Yes. You want your milk warm but not hot.
It's about 1 to 115 Fahrenheit degrees.
I didn't get this too hot.
It's basically, if your hands are like normal, not too hot or cold, it should feel tight, slightly warm, right?
And that's the way this feels, yeah. So
it's a pretty good way to tell.
I started this to proof.
Too hot, you'll kill it. Too warm, it won't work. Won't get activated like it should. Yeah, it doesn't get to working like it should.
All right, now I'm gonna go back in here. I stirred that, now I need to get my spoon off again. I have to say, doing anything with yeast, you have to have patience. If you don't have patience, don't even try. All right, now the recipe says the first thing after you start your yeast mixture proofing is you zest 1 lemon.
Which I've already
Which you already did. And you put it in your flour mixture.
Just right now it's just 4 cups of flour, right?
That's right. And you mix that up.
And we're using all-purpose flour.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to put my yeast and milk mixture in.
This is going to be your big bowl that you're going to be mixing everything into, right?
I need everything in here.
Yeah.
And I probably should have waited a few more minutes, but I could see that my yeast was working. So then I'm going to put my flour or my sugar in. 1/2 cup of sugar.
We had to convert these
Yeah, it was in
grams and things. So a lot of times,
don't have scales, so.
I mean, that's a good way to do it if you have, but you have to have the right scales to do. A lot of your European and different other countries do a lot of their recipes by weight. A lot of American ones don't too, but pastries and things.
A type 1 diabetic, you might know how to do with grams and stuff, because our son should have learned that. 2 eggs, and we're going to mix that up real good. I guess I should say, I'm doing the bread mixture. Wade's going to do the filling.
I smell yeast, so that definitely.
And it said just a little bit of salt, but we're using salted butter.
Means it's working, so.
Oh, wait a minute, when is the butter in here? We need 6 tablespoons of butter, dear.
Okay. I've got it poured out, but I haven't done anything with it yet.
Well, we need it melted.
Okay.
Slightly melted before I go any further. Oh, I'm going to put my salt in.
I'm going to use this one.
Okay.
We use that.
Just
butter
a little bit of salt, not as much as it said, because we're using salted butter. So, as soon as he gets my butter melted, we'll be right back. Okay. Thank you, dear, for saving me.
Yep.
You see how there's still chunks in there, it's liquidy. You don't want this too hot, because you have raw eggs in here.
You want to start doing that?
No. So I'm going to put my butter in here. Mix it up real good. Now, this I'm going to link below the video where we got this idea. So, alright, now the hard part. We're just going to add a little bit of this at a time. And mix it up.
Pretty nice day again for December, isn't it, hon?
Yes, it is, but we're doing this today because tomorrow's not going to be so nice.
It's colder again.
Yep, it sure is.
It's supposed to be pushing 50 today.
Oh, honey, I wish we had smell-o-vision, because guess what I can smell?
The lemon zest?
I can smell that lemon
That
zest.
lemon zest is, yep. Lemon zest and orange zest, if you've never used it, it's wonderful stuff. Iris has not been on the video yet, so she has to say hi, don't you, baby girl? Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Hey, why don't you sit? Sit. Sit.
So, nope, I ain't going to, Dad.
Sit. Okay. Give me a left paw shake. Left paw shake. Good girl. Right paw shake. Good girl.
One thing about doing yeast breads, you have to be willing to get your clean hands dirty. And we're almost there.
And another important thing is, it says, Iris, that's enough. It says a certain amount of flour and a certain amount of liquid, but it's never quite always the same depending on weather.
Well, we're making, since this is the first time we're making this recipe, we're going to do it just like it says. Alright, now, we are to that point.
Yeah, it's getting where it's going to get.
And my wrists are still, they're getting better. You'll notice I'm going against doctor's orders. I should have my brace on, but I knew I was going to be kneading.
Pull your sleeves up so you can get into your work, don't you?
Yep, I usually knead with one hand and try to keep the other hand pretty well clean. I think she's going to have to go on the house.
Now,
see how that looks?
Like any yeast bread, you've got to knead it.
Now, the recipe calls for doing this in a stand mixer. If you're out in the middle of nowhere camping, you wouldn't have a stand mixer probably. If you do, more power to you. I wouldn't. Plus, I like the feel of the dough in my hand.
And you can get a good feel of knowing what it's like. It starts to get elastic, doesn't it? When it's supposed to be kneaded to the right part.
I'll tell you, I'm calling this my physical therapy today.
Just kind of roll it and put your fist right back into it, don't you?
Yep.
This is any kind of bread, even if it's like a pizza crust, that you might be using with yeast or homemade bread rolls.
And the thing is, most
Anything like
yeast
that.
breads like being kneaded. Okay, now.
And getting about there.
Yeah, look. That was the perfect amount of flour. You couldn't have gotten better. Now, I am going to try to pick up some of the flour around here, because I believe in saving dishes. Most of the time they tell you to let it raise in a clean dish. I don't believe in that.
Don't need to, do you?
Now, I am going to put a little bit of oil over top of this, and I'm going to let it do its thing.
Inside where it's warmer than this.
This is where patience
comes
comes
to play.
in.
Yep, you're right.
You have to wait. If you can't be patient, don't try to do yeast breads. So we're going to put this in the house. We're going to regroup, and Wade's going to take care of the filling.
Angel did the hard part. She made the dough, and it's in the house where it's warmer and proofing. So I am going to make the poppy seed filling. So I've already put a quarter of a cup of semi-crushed up.
And we are making a half a batch.
Yeah, so I'm using this little device here. What is it, mortise and pestle?
Yeah.
I remember the right terms. And the poppy seeds are real small, so you don't have to get real.
Although it does say
technical.
ground poppy seeds.
Yeah, so we didn't grind it very good. If you had one of those little
coffee grinders,
they work really good for chopping up, grinding seeds and stuff. But we don't have one of them. We got an old style coffee grinder, and it doesn't do very good on stuff that's fine. So, got a poppy seed in. Okay. 3/4 of a cup of milk.
And you put all this stuff in together.
Yeah. And then it is half a teaspoon of vanilla.
Which is 1 cup.
Yep. We're using real vanilla. Imitation would probably work if that's what you had. Okay. 1.5 tablespoons of corn syrup. Actually, before I put that in, I'm going to use, well, that's all right. The rest of it, I don't need the measuring spoons for. 1.5 tablespoons. This is a white corn syrup. Rather than dirtying another one, this is not a baked good per se yet. I'm going to go ahead and just use this tablespoon to do like that.
That's not enough. A little bit more. Use that spoon to rake it out with.
I'm going to set this. You hold that in so I don't get it all over the tablecloth. Okay. Corn syrup. Then 1/4 of a cup of just regular granulated white sugar. Okay. Butter. 1.5 tablespoons of butter. We're using regular salted real butter.
And I guess we should say this filling is a cooked filling.
Yes, it is. Okay. And 1 tablespoon of flour. I'm going to make sure that gets mixed in. So since it's got the flour in it, a pure sign that it's got to be baked. I mean cooked. Pinch of salt. And that is about, in my opinion, about that much. Okay. Okay. And now, we're going to go ahead and keep stirring. We got a little Coleman burner here that we got last spring.
At the light up.
Yeah, we went to that Show Me Missouri light up thing. And we're just cooking.
Iris is upset. Can you guys see her over there? Like, I should be outside.
So now this has to come up to a boil, and then you turn it down and simmer it till it thickens up.
For 30 minutes is what the recipe says.
So hopefully, it'll come out like we're supposed to. We say we've never made either one of these, so we're kind of
shooting in the dark here.
That's right.
So I tell you what, honey, why don't we come back when it's coming to a full boil and we'll see how it looks.
All right, yeah, we'll do that. See you in a minute.
It's not up to a boil yet, but it's already
There it
thickening.
is,
There
starting to
it
boil.
goes.
So now we're gonna turn it down.
Yep, he's gonna turn it down.
That little handle got hot.
Okay, we're right at 15 minutes in.
Getting pretty thick.
It is pretty thick. Oh, and it smells different now.
So we don't know what it's supposed to be like after it chills. It may thicken more, but we're gonna keep it stirring so it doesn't scorch in the bottom and try to go the full 30 minutes like it says.
Well, and the poppy seeds look like they've plumped up a little bit too, don't they?
Yeah. It might be different if they were completely ground up too, but it's looking
We
good.
got another 15 minutes to go. We'll come back. Yeah.
Okay, looky there, Angel.
Yeah.
That has been 30 minutes.
And it did cook down
simmering.
quite a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Turn
it
this
looks
on.
a lot different than I thought it would. Now, the recipe says you can cook this up to a week in advance,
Yeah.
which we probably should have, but
And we let this cool to room temperature
yeah.
before we make the, so probably to speed the process up a little bit so it's ready. When the dough's ready, we're probably gonna take it and put it in the fridge for a little bit.
So, we're gonna come back when we put these two pieces together.
All right, see you in a bit.
Now, we've shown you 2 steps already where we mix this dough up, and see, honey, it is double. One thing I'm going to say about this is it's a really sweet roll, so it didn't raise like I'm used to for not sweeter rolls. Now, for those of you that are sitting there going at home, now you're supposedly out there camping. Are you going to go through all this trouble while you're out camping? I would. What else am I going to do out there camping except sit by the campfire? So, roll up my sleeves. This next step is going to be fairly quick and easy. First thing you got to do, honey, come over here, is you got to punch it down. Now, ooh, it's nice and warm. I'm going to try to divide it as close to half as I can. That looks like half, doesn't it?
Let's see.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to set this.
Here, you want to get it in?
Yeah.
I'll get it over here out of the way.
All right, now.
I'm going to drop it off the back of the porch.
Yeah, that would be dreadful.
A little bench
Now.
flour.
I'm going to try to make this into a rectangle, which could be easier said than done.
Yeah. Kind of like you do when you're making sweet rolls, right?
Yeah, well,
Try to make it into a rectangle
try to.
so you can roll it up,
I really am going to try to.
because we have a method to our madness.
Yes, there's a reason for it. Now I can use my cutting board that my husband so nicely put out here as a guide. Okay, now I'm gonna have Wade take over. He's got to divide this in 4
pieces.
squares.
We want,
Or if you can get 8 out of it, that'd
yeah.
be fine.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right down the center this way, best I can.
Yeah, our pizza cutter's not the best in the world.
And then I'm going to go in the middle here, okay? And then cut them in the middle each.
Well, they're not going to be exactly square, but we'll make do. Now, Iris is arguing with the neighbors. Okay, now we have to let this raise. So we're going to lay these out. Uh-oh. They're not going to...
Do you go ahead and form them into the...
No, let
Thanks.
them raise, and then you come back and you put the filling in and you let them raise again.
Oh, okay.
3 raisings. At least according to my recipe. Okay, we got the first batch done. When we're ready to do the next step, which is the filling, we'll come back. I reread the directions again. Always reread your directions, your ingredients, your recipe the whole way through. Because as I'm sitting there, not paying any close attention, I realized where the second poofing is with the filling in it. So, and you can fill these either with cream cheese, the poppy seed thing that we made, or jams or jellies. So, and the cream cheese one, Wade's not real big on the cream cheese filling, so we're just doing this, and then tomorrow, later tonight, we'll do some of the, we're going to do apricot. So, but this is what we're doing on camera.
This is the traditional one, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's supposed to be a heaping tablespoon, right?
That's a heaping tablespoon.
Yep. I kind of got pretty thick, so I kind of divided it up a little bit so you can kind of easily tell.
Put it right in the middle is what it says.
Yep.
Which is what I'm trying to do. Yeah, it's sticking to my fingers, dear. Okay, now what we saw,
Several different ways, wasn't it?
that's got a different flavor. Anyhow, what we saw, the recipe, I'm showing you the picture right now, what this recipe is supposed to look like. That is not what we saw when we were in Iowa. So,
Probably no correct way. A lot of people doing different
probably
ways
not.
every time.
I'm going to put a little dab of this on two of my corners. And then I'm going to bring them up and pinch them together.
Fold it over so it stays good.
Yep.
And then we put egg wash on it totally on the
Yes.
outside too before we bake
Yes.
them, don't we? Okay. Okay.
All right, now we let these raise.
Yeah,
oh,
we're gonna.
wait a minute.
I'd wait and put that egg wash on the outside. I think it was right before you bake them you put the egg wash on, I think.
Okay, well, I'm going to take your word for it. Anyhow, now we're going to cover these. Okay, now what are we doing?
All right, we started 40 pieces of charcoal. They look right ready. So I'm going to set them over here. I'll wait for just a second because we're going to use the cook it all again. If you watched our video from 2 weeks ago with lep cookies, we used the same setup.
But we're going to do 2 batches.
Yeah,
So we can show you how we slide things on and off.
so we're going to set the Dutch oven. Oh, let me use that a little bit more this way. Trying to get it sort of sit.
I think you
fairly
flipped
low.
it over. I think you flipped the...
There we go.
There we go.
That turned out pretty good. Okay, now I need to go a little bit that way. Now, I'm going to set this out of the way for a second because I'm going to start by dumping out some charcoal. Trying not to end up with it all over the deck. Okay, so we're going to put about 14 on the bottom around the outside edge, just like we were when we were baking.
Now, what are we doing? We're not actually starting to bake right now, are we? What are we doing?
We're preheating this.
Now, it looks like a lot underneath there. It probably don't have quite enough under it yet.
No, we gotta do.
This is kind of just the opposite of baking in a Dutch oven.
Okay. I think that was 14, about 15. I think it went 15 on the bottom. And I tried evenly space them best I can. And only around the outside edge because that heat's actually going to draw to the center. Okay, so now we put the lid on, offsetting the handles from the bottom so we can lift the lid up if we need to fill it. And then we go through and evenly put charcoal all over the Dutch oven lid, or in this case the cook it all lid. And this is a cook-it-all, not actually a Dutch oven. Still made by Lodge.
These have been out for what, like 5 years?
At least 5 or 6 years. I can't remember now. Yep. Little quiz for you. Do you know what the surface temperature is of a piece of charcoal? Shoot a comment if you know what it is. If you want to know now, it's about 900 degrees.
I was going to say, I don't even know.
Okay. Okay. All the charcoal is on top. Evenly spaced best we can, which is good enough.
How long do you think it'll need to preheat?
Probably 8 to 10 minutes. So
Now, I see a problem over here, dear. There's ashes.
try to get them off.
Yes. We don't want them on our kolaches or
That's the only bad thing around, if you look here, Angel, that I've noticed about the cook-it-all, is you need a little bit, almost a little higher lip here.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take much ash and it falls up and falls right down on the bottom inside of where you're cooking in. But so, anyway, yeah, we're going to get this preheated about 10 minutes. Be back and get these baking.
Christmas is almost here. Have you found the perfect gift for a loved one who likes being outside and cooking outdoors? Well, look no further. Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways has a cookbook. In that cookbook, you'll not only find tips for how to take care of your Dutch ovens, but you'll find our first 2 years of recipes. To order, send a check or money order of $20 for the cookbooks and $6 shipping and handling to Pole House Black Pots, P.O. Box 212, Fayette, Missouri 65248, or on Venmo, $26 as well. When you're using Venmo, please include your address. We can't send it to you if we don't have your address. We hope you're having a great holiday and Merry Christmas.
We're at the downhill slide. All right, now we've got our mixed up egg wash in milk. I'm just going to put it over top of it.
Should make a nice, shiny, glossy finish when we're done
I hope.
on our baked.
I hope these come out good. We've never done them before, so.
If you know that we're mispronouncing these, let us know in the comments. We've heard Kolache, Kolache. So,
We don't mean to offend.
no. We don't know. We've never made them before either, so hopefully they come out good.
Now, you're going to see that I put this on something round. Put it on a tray that was round. Because we're going from a round tray to a round cook.
Okay, you pull that just a little bit. I'll pull this one. I think we're...
It looks like it. If you haven't noticed, he went and traced around the outline of that, so we make sure we get them all in there. So these need to bake for 12 to 15 minutes, and we'll switch them.
Now, since these are being done, like Angel said, 12 to 15 minutes, one bake. We're not going to try to rotate anything. We're just going to let them cook since it's such a short bake time, just like we did cookies a couple weeks ago. So we'll come back here and we'll see, and hopefully they're done when we check them. All right,
It's been 12, well, we think 13 minutes, so we're going to see.
Done, yeah.
Smells like they're done.
Smells good.
Well, they didn't poop out too much.
All right, brown enough?
Yeah, I think so.
Feel like they're done?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you take it, leave it down there, hon.
All right.
Your center. Yep, we're good. Okay.
We only lost one.
All right. Now that second batch that we just put in there was the ones that we used some apricot jam filling in. So, kind of taste them too.
Yep, we'll be right back here. We're gonna go ahead and get these off and let them cool all the way, and then we'll taste them.
Yeah, because they're supposed to cool completely before
Yeah.
you taste them. So, see you in a few minutes.
Well, that's what they look like. One of each.
Yep, one with the traditional poppy seed
So,
filling.
go
and
ahead
one
and
with
grab
apricot.
one, Wade. Nice and brown, yeah.
One with lots of filling. Good try. Not bad.
I like the dough. I'm not so sure about that poppy seed though.
Definitely got little crunchies in it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's your poppy seed? So,
I don't know though. Toward the back, it tastes pretty good.
it's not bad.
Well, that about does it for this weekend getaway. We did go, Wade was in a parade, but we didn't shoot any video of that.
I think we got a little picture of the Model T before the parade. We dressed it up as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
All lit up.
Yeah.
I guess that about does it.
Yep, for the third part of a 5-part series on
Oh yeah, we've got
Christmas
2 more
from
parts
around
left.
the world.
One of them is our mother's favorite cookie.
Yeah.
That's all right. The way this is going to work out, this one airs 2 weeks, no, the week before Christmas.
Or 2 weeks before Christmas or something like that. And the week of Christmas, we're going to be the 4th one. And
And then the
probably
last
gonna,
one's
yeah,
going to be on Leslie's birthday.
yeah, the 29th of this month.
So, anyways, we hope you liked this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, which is a like. If you like this, we have other cooking demonstrations on our videos. Watch some of the past ones. Share us on Facebook or Instagram, and we appreciate you watching.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Bye, everybody. See you next week.